Hey everyone, welcome back to the Power Network. I'm Amy. So I'm like a dog with a bone with this story. Um, uh, Today we're diving deeper into the hidden true crime drama. Yep, Lauren Mathias and that so-called mean girl behavior. We're going to talk about whether it really rises to that level or not. Is Lauren the GOAT, the OG of mean girls, or is she actually being stalked and bullied like she and Dr. John claim in that 3.5-hour live that we did earlier this morning? We've got a statement from GiGi over at Pretty Lies and Alibis that we want to go over. And we've got another content creator speaking out about Lauren striking their channel for using short clips of their content under the Fair Play Use Act. And I got to tell you, that burns my chaps. So buckle up, Power Crew. We're breaking it all down, receipts and all. So let's get into it. I'm going to roll some short credits and I'll see you in just a moment.
And if you're not subscribed, why are you not subscribed? I would really love to have you as a power subscriber. If you really like my content, be sure to become a Dragonfly, and that's our membership, and it's $2.99 a month. I release all my videos early. We have special emojis over in the chat room. I kind of share things ahead of time with my Dragonflies, and I go live sometimes just for the Dragonflies. It's a way that I can support you guys and give you more content, and it's a way for you to support our channel. It's $2.99 a month, and I would love to have you.
Okay, and there is the link if you would like to become a Dragonfly. And I will also put that, everything that we view today, I will put over in the YouTube show notes. Today we're coming to you on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So hi everyone, if you could show us love on that platform that you're viewing us on, that would be wonderful. And so yeah, let's get into it. We did do a 4-hour live this morning on this. Yesterday we did a 5-hour live. So we have been covering this case. If you want to catch up on it, we do have a short video up too that kind of explains the case and what's going on. It's like 20 minutes long if you want to like understand what's really happening. But I wanted to take a peek at, I know Angela Levy and GiGi from Pretty Lies and Alibis are vaguely, remotely, sort of involved in this whole fiasco. And I was wondering, I heard yesterday that GiGi had made a statement and I couldn't find it, but I did see this morning that J is for Justice posted it. So I wanted to go over it with you guys. And then I also wanted to go over an interview that Sleuthy Goosey gave last night on ATS. She talked about how Lauren struck her channel for some things. So that's what I want to look at. I want to look at the sliminess that she's been doing to others, and we'll go from there. So let me get my screen all shared and ready to go. Everything that I share today is my opinion, my research. We urge you to go out there and do your own, as well as everybody's welcome to have their own opinion here. Mine's pretty firmly entrenched in that I think there's some, I think it was like wrongdoing on both sides. Neither one is in the right, but this is not stalking. I'm an ex-social worker and I have worked with people that have been stalked. I was a legal advocate. I used to go to courts and help people get PPOs. This is not stalking. So, but that's just my opinion. Just one woman's opinion here in Michigan or Florida. I'm from Michigan, but I'm in Florida. So that's what it is. And so this is GiGi from Pretty Lies and Alibis. And this was her statement regarding this whole situation, because she is involved, because Lauren, it has been said that Lauren was writing pretty vicious emails in a private group chat, not emails, messages, and a private group chat about other creators that were, on the higher level playing field than, let's just say, me, right? Although GiGi is very accessible. Like I've spoke to GiGi like on the internet before. Like she's just a very kind, easygoing, like I'm not above you kind of person. And I think that's why a lot of people like GiGi. But anyway, apparently Lauren was saying some pretty, not so nice things about GiGi, and it got back to her. And this is GiGi's statement. This is over on, I couldn't find which platform this is coming from. I went over to X. I went over to Facebook. I went over to Instagram. So I'm just going to read it from Jay's page, and like I said, everything we link, I will put down in the show notes. We urge you to go over to all of these pages and, check them out on your own. So GiGi says, I posted on this thread, but let me copy and paste for you again. There's much more, but I don't air dirty laundry. All the drama aside from the current topic of discussion was known to a lot of us in spring. We all moved on, but I guess this has caused the past to rise back up, which I am totally over after months of being thrown in this at no fault of my own. This was in response to someone saying they hope I wasn't shunning Lauren. So I'm sure this came from a hidden minion gem. Shunning? No. But did I remove what little contact I had with her outside of being at trial after being shown proof of what absolutely awful things she said about me over the course of years and what she did to try to affect my podcast and negatively? Absolutely. And negatively? Absolutely. It's called removing myself from drama and moving on with what matters to me in my life, my grandmother, my kids, my work. She talks about her Gammy a lot over on X, and Gammy just got better. So I'm glad Gammy's continuing to get better. And in fact, even after I knew about all this way back in May, I still walked up to her at Brandon's trial on day one and asked how she was and said, it's good to see you, because that's what a good person does. When she sent me an apology email, I replied back in a positive way. Hold on. Let me get it forward. But here we can see here that GiGi is telling us that this woman tried to destroy her channel. She doesn't say in what way, but our good girl, our not mean girl, our tragedy pimp, Lauren, tried to destroy GiGi's channel. And negatively, absolutely, it's called removing myself from drama and moving on with what matters to me in my life. My grandmother, my kids, my work. And in fact, even when I knew about all this way back in May, I still walked up to her at Brandon's trial on day one and asked how she was and said, it's good to see you. When she sent me an apology email, I replied back in a positive way. I do not wish anybody any harm, but me choosing to be the adult and prevent any further drama in my life is fair, which it is. And I get not wanting to be involved in this because she's already been involved in it since the spring. There are two sides to every story, and I could have gone public in May with mine, but in spite of everything that was done against me behind my back, without my knowledge, all while thinking that little connection we had at trials was good, I don't want to be the reason for anybody's downfall. This isn't my problem. But when people are made aware of things said and done against them and choose to quietly walk away instead of airing it out in a public forum, that's not shunning. Well said, GiGi. And professionally said. And I promise you that GiGi is probably the person she is in front of the camera behind the camera. Oh, okay. I don't like GiGi. I love GiGi. She has always been and will always be my go-to girl for information. I do too. She does a great job on, I get a lot of my Florida woman information from GiGi. So, yeah. And I would help GiGi. I mean, and see, I was thinking about this. Like, it would be unfair of GiGi to befriend any of us that think so highly of her in a manner that Lauren has befriended all these women. Because in all reality, like, we don't know GiGi. We kind of fangirl GiGi, and we would probably do a lot to help GiGi. And it would be so unbalanced of GiGi to be anything other than gracious and just treat us like normal human beings, like she always does. Like, even when I mentioned something about origami and she replied to me, like, she's just a normal person who doesn't take advantage of her situation, which is because of who she is. She got on Long Coin. She was the one that was picked for Long Coin. And I think that probably made Lauren angry. And I think that's why what she said about GiGi. But that's just me, you know, putting 2 and 2 together and coming up with 4. So that was GiGi's statement. Let's keep going and let's move into the next one that I found. ATS News covered it last night, and she did a little panel, and she had Sleuthy Goosey on. And for those, you probably all know this, but Sleuthy Goosey is the X account that has all of the trial stuff from Lauren's trial. She's the one that put it all in order for us and organized it. So that's Sleuthy Goose. I'm having a hard time saying it. Sleuthy Goosey. And then she also had J Warren 333 and the Ward case studies on, which I'm not aware of those other 2 channels. So I guess we'll look into it. I just recently, I knew ATS covered the Watts case, but I never really followed it. And also Melly too. I didn't know Melly had a channel, and I just discovered Melly's channel, and I love her channel. And ATS I discovered too recently. I knew she worked a little bit with Alex Erickson, which I love her channel, but I don't, for whatever reason, I just never broadened my horizons. So thank you, Lauren, for helping me broaden my horizons even further and enjoy these channels even more and discover all these wonderful channels, because I love the lawyer Lori's channel as well. And everything that we view, I will put down in the YouTube show notes. We will skip around a lot. So I'll do that for you guys for fair play use. I think they cover the Idaho 4 case in the beginning, and then they go into this case. So let me get it to where they start talking about, here it is. I recognize why can't I say that word? Sleuthy Goosey's work. I might just say SG because that's going to get annoying.
Their conversations with Kohberger would be protected.
Okay. They're still talking Kohberger. Let me get it forward.
They will file them for him.
So when he does, like,
I can't see because you got the thing.
Oh, darn it. No,
Come back,
like
Sleuthy.
Lieutenant Holman's face. And at first I was concerned. And then I realized like who it was. And I'm like, oh, wait, I've only sent the link out to like 4 people.
Yeah, no.
So I listened to a portion of this. I was just watching it on my own. I was like, well, I'm going to come on here and watch this with you guys. I got to a point where Sleuthy came on and she started talking about what Lauren did, striking her channel. And I thought, oh, she's one of those bitches that does that to people where it's in fair play use, but she gets even down and dirty. Lauren gets even dirtier. She goes the extra mile so that she can't use her content. So just listen. Just listen. Because there is a fair play use that is in where if you don't have this video copyrighted, if you don't go and have each and every video copywritten, then we are allowed to take this content and cut it up and use it for commentary and stop and start it. That's fair play use, and add our thoughts and, add some oomph, some salt and pepper to it and make it into a whole new content. It's under fair play use, but Lauren scooted that and got around that. So we'll hear all about that.
I think she'll be coming back. So we are going to be getting into this hidden true crime situation. It's one of those things where I was like, there we go with the Halloween. I love the picture.
I love it. It's cute.
I'm normal now.
Joining us, Sleuthy. You are the real MVP with putting together this spreadsheet. So thank you so much, because
it's outrageous. I want to get a t-shirt that has Lauren's face and then it says rules for me and not thee, and then XO Lauren Turd, because in that 4-hour thing that Dr. John and her did, they did the analogy of Brad Pitt and Angelina, but I've been saying all along, no. This reminds me of the Amber Turd Johnny Depp saga, and my friends, Lauren is Lauren Turd for sure. And so I want that t-shirt, because she wants all these rules and regulations for others, but not for her, not for thee.
It was just too much to kind of go through the 9-hour thing, and then it wasn't as accessible right away. So the way that you put this together in the little time that you had, like, I don't know how you do it.
I was up till like 2:30. It was because it needed to be redacted.
I'm really impressed with people who have the ability to do stuff like this, because my organization skills are all over the place. So when people do these things and then they're happy to share it with others, just for, like, I'm sure they want to be called out, which is completely reasonable. And, we call out everybody. And in fact, we go above and we put the links down in the show notes. So, I mean, and if anybody ever wants to use any of my stuff, yeah, use it. I don't, it's out there. I'm not a gatekeeper for information. I'm also not here to tell you how to feel either. And I think Lauren and Dr. John want to tell us how to feel. And they're mad and they're trying to shame us for not feeling the way that they think we should feel. And that pisses me off.
Redacted. If it didn't need to be redacted, then it wouldn't have been a big deal. And I was like, I don't want any more documents unless they come redacted.
Well, thank you so much for putting it together. And yeah, I've been going through it, and I was like, I don't even know where to start tonight. I don't want to read the declarations out loud. I won't do that to you guys. There's a lot of channels that are doing that. So I figure, more power to them.
I've decided not to read those too, because a lot of channels are doing them. I just go into chats and enjoy those I've decided not to do those too, but they are good. They're a good read and a good listen, and I urge you to. And I will put Sleuthy Goosey's link down in the show notes as well. So if you want to go on your own and do all this, you can.
Through them, and honestly, like, I would rather listen to someone else read it than me read it, because I feel like when I'm reading it live, I'm not absorbing it the same way. I did have an idea to put it through my chat GPT and have them read it. But the only thing that I started with, because it was 13 pages in itself, was Christina's declaration. Christina is the, quote, stalker of Lauren.
You can refer to her as the respondent, because that's who she is legally.
Okay, I'll try
these.
that
way. Yeah, that way, because I know you don't like calling her that.
Right. And the thing is, like, first off, I want to start off by saying my initial response to this situation was empathy and sympathy, but I had only watched the first 10 minutes when I was like kind of sending the link out. I think I sent it to you, Jen Lou, too. And I was like, have you seen this?
Yes. And I remember exactly what you said. I feel awful.
Same, me too. I was telling you guys yesterday, I texted Amber from Into the Weeds podcast, and I was like, oh my gosh, have you seen this? This is like one of my biggest fear, having a stalker. And I hadn't listened to the whole thing. I'd woken up to it and just heard bits and pieces, and her and I discussed it a little bit. And then I went back and I noticed Chase for Justice was going over it. And I was listening to it. I was starting to think, this doesn't seem like a stalking situation. And then I decided I'm gonna watch this over on Jay's. And yeah, I wasn't the only one. So I mean, the same thing happened with me with the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case in the beginning. I had sympathy for Gypsy until I read everything and I figured it out for myself, and I figured out who she really was. And I think that's what's happening with our Lauren Turd is her bad deeds are coming to play. And I the first time I said this, I don't think they want this can of worms opened, but it's opened, and they doubled down. They said, bitches, we're doubling down. And they did. They did in a 3.5 hour live. We went over it this morning. So I guess we're in this for the long haul.
I feel bad for her, but then I was like, but I still am like, why isn't Law and Crime allowed to do their job when that's her job in murder cases and stuff, you know? So that was kind of where I stood at first. But at first, I for sure was like hooked with feeling like, wow, you know, this must be some situation. Again, this is before I watched more. This is before I seen who this stalker was, because then Teresa from Criminality sent me this TikTok page of this woman, this brunette girl, and I'm like, what, like, sent her a question mark, I think, and she's like, that's the stalker. And I was like, what? and the more I started going through it, I'm like, I don't understand. Like, this looks like a falling out between two friends, and one of them is afraid of what the other one might come out and
No, Dr. John just gave us a 3.5 hour live and told us all about stalking. And this is stalking. This is, you know, he produced 18 books. He thumped up on our head and told us we're too stupid. So he'll tell us. And if we don't follow along with it, we're of the criminal element, probably.
say to ruin their reputation that they've built.
Bingo.
Mhm.
Bingo.
Yeah,
Oh,
my
thank
initial
you, Denise.
reaction was not that.
I want to hear it. Tell me.
My initial reaction was, this is pretty transparent to me that there's something that she's trying to get ahead of, and we're saying all the buzzwords, and we're throwing our 8-year-old into it, and we're doing all the crying. And when she said that,
John probably has to talk, so she'll take his balls out of her purse and give them back to him at the end of the live. Talk, or you won't get your balls back.
she dropped it, but she was doing the live because she's doing what's right to protect her family. She lost me with that, because I've needed a protective order, and the last thing that I would have done,
Slap in the face to everybody that's ever needed a personal protection order,
was cancel it and then go public and talk about it to further provoke the person that I say that I'm scared of, and have zero protection at that point, not even the temporary order. And the more that I heard from her, and then the more once I started reading these documents,
no
I was
protection right now, and it's quite clear that Dr. John thought that it was the Idaho courts. They couldn't grasp the idea of what stalking really is, so they need to take it to a different state. Which, I mean, what's the other state they're going to take it to? They would have to take it to Nevada, wouldn't they? Because or would they take it to Colorado, where she showed up at CrimeCon? Like, what is he talking about? I didn't understand quite that part, but like, you can tell he's really disgusted with Idaho for saying this basically is not stalking. And so they read the room there and knew that they weren't going to get like the answer they wanted from the court. So suddenly she's safe without a stalking personal protection order, and it's safe for her to do all these lives. And makes no sense to do a 9-hour live, to go on that other live, Duty Ron, and then Grayson go on a live, and then go behind a paywall and do whatever they do on behind their paywall live, and then do another 3.5 hour live. And meanwhile, Christina has done nothing. Blink, 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 blink.
That's exactly what's happening. And the number of times that she literally went to where this person was specifically to like get within her personal space so that she could then say that she's being stalked, being harassed, that the temporary orders being violated. The whole thing just made me sick. The only reason I did this and put all these things together was because of someone, like I said, that has needed one before. It made me sick to see all of it.
I'm so glad you did this though, Sleuth, because this is what I wanted to see. And Amber, if you don't want to read them, I was thinking I've been on the fence about playing the audio and then doing reading the exhibits and the declarations. But if people want to hear it, I would be willing to do it.
Also, I feel like there's so much gaslighting in this case that all of us just need to lasso our lassos around the truth and hold on for dear life and just ride this one out, because they're going to try to throw everything at this to try to make us, like, just listening to that 3.5 hour Dr. John gaslighting live where he threw everything at us and all these analogies, and all the analogies that he had, half of them were stalkers and abusers too. I mean, the Brad Pitt one was just horrible analogy, and they're just throwing everything at us, and we just need to hold on to the truth for dear life, because in this day and age there are so many people, and I think we're all so sick of this gaslighting and all these isms thrown at us that we're just over it, and we're not going to let it happen this time. And I mean, even Gigi's like, no, I'm not going with that narrative. This is what happened. This is the narrative. I want to stay out of it, but I'm not rewriting history for you. Right? And guys, I feel kind of passionate about this because I'm just tired of people like Lauren Mathias getting one over everybody and just getting a pass. And I think we all have a Lauren Mathias in our lives, or in our history, or in our future. And this will help us deal with these kind of people, in my opinion. And yeah.
Not now. But
no, yeah, no.
Point. I know I can see your face, because she had messaged me and said, I'm not going to be on long. And clearly there's like 11 million things here. So
I know it. And I did not plan to go through it all tonight. In fact, I had already known that you were probably going to just upload it too, because we're all just digging through this stuff, and the way that Sleuthy has it so organized, it kind of makes sense that somebody would just kind of read through, you know what I mean, without the commentary and stuff. So yeah. Have at it. Okay. I'll play Christina's. Okay. And then kind of go through some of these like visuals and like what she claims is evidence. So first off, there might be some people in chat who like have no idea what this situation is about or whatever. While I kind of get ready to pull up like a little summary, Jay, do you want to kind of share your initial thoughts when you first kind of stumbled on this? Because I know we talked about it too.
Sure. Thank you for asking. Initially, I felt really bad for her. I kind of felt like, her channel's really one of the more professional ones that, doesn't delve into drama. And I know that same thing was said on.
That's the thing that a lot of people are experiencing with Lauren too, is like, I would be devastated. I'm not going to lie. I would be devastated if I found out that after saying all this wonderful things about GiGi, that behind the scenes, she was really an asshole. I would be devastated, you guys. I wouldn't like it at all. And it would take me some time to readjust. And so I get it, because you do put people on pedestals that you respect. But I mean, in the live, they were trying to humanize her in so many ways, saying like, aren't you, haven't you made mistakes? And yeah, I have made mistakes, and I have said things about people that I really regret. But once you realize that the universe works in a way that we're all pretty much connected, and you cannot go behind people's back for time after time after time and talk ish about them without it karma coming back to bite you. It just is what it is. And once you realize that that's the universal truth, that you can't do all these bad deeds. And yeah, you can, but don't do it with these 20-some-year-olds that you just meet. Pick some good friends that you can be snarky with together, that have your back, and you can like vent and do whatever you need to do, but you don't need to have a group text of mean girls where you just berate people behind their backs. That's wrong, right? There's a difference.
Alex Erickson's panel discussing the same thing, and that's basically how I looked at it. I was like, I took her for what she said, as the truth, because why wouldn't I? Because like I say, her channel doesn't go into drama ever. It's very fact based. It's not clickbaity. So I took her.
Notice she aligns herself with younger women, younger impressionable women, and then she has constant falling out with these people. And meanwhile, she talks ish about, it's a constant revolving door of ish, and people finally decided to air her dirty ish too. So I don't know. Sometimes you reap what you sow, and I don't doubt that Lauren and Dr. John are very stressed right now, but I just really feel that they've brought this on themselves, and then doubling down on it. It just makes people want to go harder and deeper into it all. So
it's value, but then I looked deeper into it and the other sides, and it kind of clicked, because like what was said, mentioning her son and saying, he shouldn't know about any of this, you know what I mean? And like I was saying to Amber, the only way he would know is if she's like, and I said this in Alex Erickson's chat, is if like she's been yelling about it in the house, if like manic about it, and that's just not right, you know what I mean? You don't put these things onto your kids, you know what I mean? I don't have any, but I know that from my own background that it's just not good to just have hysterics around young children, because look how he's taking it.
Right. It's not bullying. It's actually being a good friend and a good professional friend, warning people like you might want to stay. It's like a fine line you walk, though, warning people about other people, because you also don't want to look like the bitch, or I'm swearing too much. You also don't want to look like the jerk in the situation. So I swear when I get mad, so I gotta reel it in. And this kind of stuff really angers me when there's a power imbalance, and there is an extreme power imbalance on so many levels with Lauren in this situation. It's not a stalking situation.
Because as per her own words, it's really affected him, so it's not a good thing.
And the thing that I think is important that I wanted like myself and Jay to kind of share, that at first we felt a certain ways, because that I think it kind of is the theme of like this whole situation is individuals, including the masses. Like when you have as many subs as she has, and you're going on channels that have 6-figure subs as well, like, that your message is reaching like the magnitudes. And it's like that saying, like, he who controls the media controls the narrative. It's like if you come out and you have all these subs and you're going live for 9 hours putting out like your side and your narrative and what you want everyone to kind of believe, and like prying on their emotions. Like I think that Jay, myself, others involved in this, like including other large channels, I think that we've been and her subs emotionally manipulated, and Jay and I kind of like came out through the other side all in one day. Like I think like we stumbled on it and then also saw through the bullshit like in one day. And then since then I'm like, we need to make sure that people know like the timeline of these things, these events, because a lot of people have information wrong. And before I even started like looking through the spreadsheet that Sleuthy put together, I was talking to Shay Bonet. You guys might see her in chat and on channels she mods. I on Messenger, I just want to make sure I get this timeline right before I go live. Some people have no idea about this situation, some in chat. So I just want to make sure I can kind of summarize things before we dig into the spreadsheet. And I said, so when Lauren put the TPO on Christina, that was before CrimeCon, right? And she says, yes. And then I said, okay, I want to get the timeline right. And I said, however, Lauren had said that she wasn't going to go to CrimeCon, right? And then Christina bought her ticket months prior. And then last minute, Lauren decided she wanted to go. And Lauren is from Hidden True Crime, in case those don't know. The respondent is Christina, but I might call her Christina this whole time. So I said, so who confronted who first at CrimeCon? Lauren went to a bar or restaurant that Christina was at, or no? And this is what Shay said. And I think this is like the best rundown. It's around like 4 minutes, not even.
Hey girl, if I had an audio, it would be easier. So basically, what happened was Lauren went and filed for this ex parte TPO against Christina. Somebody, according to the police on the camera, body cam footage at CrimeCon when they served Christina, said that their office was contacted a couple days before. We don't know by who just yet. So, on Thursday evening, I believe, is when Christina had already left and was at CrimeCon, and her husband was home, and he was served with the order. He sent a picture of it to Christina, and in the body cam, Christina talks about how she tried to reach out to the Aurora Police Department to get some guidance. She didn't hear back from them, so she goes to CrimeCon on Friday, and Lauren and them wait outside CrimeCon waiting for Christina to be served physically. And even the police said that she had to be physically served. So what happened that was in the declarations that was interesting was that Christina had purchased her tickets for CrimeCon back early of this year. Lauren was well aware of it because they had talked about it. And then Lauren wasn't going to go to CrimeCon. She's even said that to multiple people. And then getting closer to CrimeCon, she goes on her YouTube channel and makes an announcement that she's going to go. And she was just going to the awards because of the Delphi stuff. She didn't have a booth. She wasn't working, nothing of the sort. So Lauren basically used this to her advantage to trap Christina and make a fool out of her and try to get her arrested. And so, I mean, I think Christina's and her people's declarations kind of best state it, because Lauren left out a lot of holes. And even Joe Schmo, when he was on Queens, made comment that he had been with them that night, and him and Megan, because they were in Web Sleuths, they were the ones that were videotaping and taking pictures of Christina. So they were stalking Christina. And Joe Schmo said that they moved multiple times to get closer. And Queen and Jay were like on panel, and they go, get closer to what, Joe? And it was getting closer to Christina. And then in one of the declarations, a former Orange County officer told, I think it was Lindsay, one of the friends, that he said that you should probably be aware that you may be being stalked. And he pointed her out, and it was Grayson. And so Grayson had been like running around trying to like contact them, get close to them, acting really fucking creepy. So really the stalkers, in my opinion, after taking all of this shit in, were actually Grayson and Lauren. So, but I think like in terms of the best coverage I've seen.
So that was her summary for those who don't know the little bit of background. And Sleuthy, was there anything you wanted to add before we kind of get into Christina's declaration?
I agree with all that, but I also want to say that, and obviously my comment on the screen, but I also should have probably said that going into watching her 9-hour live, my only kind of interaction with her was when she copyright struck me.
Thank you. Thank you, Barbara, asking 7069. Yes, if you guys could hit the like button. Today we're coming to you on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So thank you so much for reminding me to say that. And check to see if you're subscribed too. I would love to have you as a subscriber on all of my platforms. And
that was when she did the interview. She did one interview with Jerry Holman from the Delphi case. And I actually want to say that that was like the first interview that he did after the sentencing.
So this is where Lucy is talking about Lauren struck her channel.
It was like maybe an hour long. I did 2 lives doing an hour, maybe an hour and a half. I'll give her an hour and a half. 2 like 3-hour lives, maybe even 4 with Teresa to cover an hour and a half interview. That's how often we were stopping for commentary. 90% of the commentary was entirely about Jerry Holman. And she copyright struck me for both.
Wow. For fair use, which is protected under free
Did you appeal it, Sleuthy?
But wait, there's more.
I did the like the counter claim or whatever.
I hate
And so
counterclaim because you've got to give your full name and your birth date and your social security to people who don't even like you to begin with. They're striking you. And so if you don't want to do that, then you got to hire a lawyer and go behind them and do it. So, I mean, it's a real,
he went to a copyright claims board to file a complaint there, which you can do instead of filing in the federal courts.
Mm-hmm.
And it will basically keep the strike there. So I got it.
Through all of that, just so somebody couldn't use like 2 few-minute clips of her work. That's who Lauren Mathias is.
I was like, I work full-time. I am a single mother. I literally have no time to be sitting here looking up case law, writing up. Like, I just don't care enough. Like, the people who were going to watch it were watching it live.
Yeah.
And I don't have the time or the patience. I'm not going to go back and forth with her. But I did pull it up while you guys were talking. And she literally, it's funny because the things that she was saying in that 9-hour live, like, yeah, criticize me and criticize my work all you want. I don't care. And I just thought that's just simply not true, because you put that in the complaint, was that you were annoyed that I was criticizing you.
What?
So, yeah.
Wow. Wait, back the milk truck up. Back it completely up, put it in park, and take the keys out the ignition. Copyrighted material, if you're doing a copyright complaint, okay, what you want, is to say this person took my original content, my work, and they did not use transform. It has nothing to do with criticism, because as you know, YouTube was founded on criticism and critique and opinion. That's, well, I mean, it started out something else initially, but it was very short, and then it became YouTube. Why?
That's bullshit.
Would you ever put, I don't like what she said. Get out of here, Lauren.
Right.
Now, Lauren, I tried to give you every damn benefit of the doubt, ma'am. And here you go doing my girl Loosey Goosey dirty.
Yeah.
And you know what's even dirtier is, I'm sorry.
Struck my channel recently. Do you guys remember? I see him a lot over on Facebook. He's the redhead and he's really tall and he's got a little person for a mom. And they do a lot of those. He does a lot of, he's a lot over on Facebook, but maybe he's over on TikTok too. But he's that kid. But he used to live in front of the Cecil Hotel, and I did an Elisa Lam video. And was it haunted? Was it a supernatural story or not? And I used a clip of his paranormal investigating across from the Cecil Hotel, and it was like a 2-minute clip or something like that, and we talked over it the whole time, and he struck me. And in my dispute, I was like, I am a little channel here. I'll probably get like 200 views on this video. I'll probably make $1.50, and he wants to take half of it to share this for using something that will forward his channel on probably further than mine. It's just ridiculous. I want it, spoiler alert, but it's a pain in the butt, because then it gets taken out of the algorithm for 2 weeks or so, because it's like a 2-week process, and then you've got to wait, and then it loses its momentum, and they've all but buried it. So
Sorry, but now that I'm hearing this, like the fact that she went on her channel and criticized Olivia Goncalves' victim speech. And like she's over here copy striking channels who are just criticized like legally and fairly, right?
Criticizing a police officer, a public official.
I shouldn't have said this, but I know that he just bought this home in the Hollywood Hills. I said, I guess you got your home in the Hollywood Hills and you need my $1.50 too. I've been a little spicy lately.
Yeah, just very unhinged.
So it's not long. I'll tell you what she wrote. She wrote that I, on my YouTube channel, played our entire video on her YouTube channel over 2 separate live streams. She took our content, which we wrote, directed, and produced entirely on our own from our YouTube channel, Hidden True Crime, which, what do you mean you wrote, directed, produced? Like, you were doing an interview. So did you script the entire interview? Like, was his answers scripted as well? That the whole thing was like written by you like a book?
Like Dateline? Girl.
Yeah. And I said, she said, and then played it on her own channel so the viewers would watch her channel instead of ours. It is identical to ours, except she talked out loud while streaming our video so that she could claim it was commentary, when in fact it was not commentary, and certainly not educational, as proven by her choice to title the videos Pig Roast Part 1 and Part 2, which I feel like anybody that has any kind of sense of humor would have knew exactly what that joke was about. It had nothing to do with Lauren.
Right.
And encouraged her
I think
viewers
it's hilarious that she would do a thing called pig roast. I wasn't even sure if I should put like the BITCHs on my thumbnail, so I put the percentage mark in there. I watched a YouTube thing on whether we could swear or not, and they basically said you can swear, but don't swear too much, and really it's at their discretion. And for true crime channels, that the ones that use the trigger words like the M word and the grape word and stuff like that, like we can say it as long as the content isn't about that. But I feel like at any moment they could twist it into anything they want, because that's what YouTube does. So I try to limit myself with it. So it's like a really slippery slope that we dance around here over on YouTube.
come to her channel so that they could watch our video. Then it says a description of harm suffered and relief sought. The harm is that viewers were not watching the video on our keep in mind, my channel has 12,000 people, 15,000 people. She has over 250,000 people. Okay.
Oh my God.
Viewers were not watching the video on our channel. Rather, they were watching the video on the Sleuthy Goosey channel instead.
Right.
Not only was the Sleuthy Goosey channel stealing our work, she was also encouraging hatred by titling her live stream of our work Pig Roast and spouting harmful and false narratives about hidden true crime and the subject of the interview video. This led to many online narratives and posts being created about hidden true crime that were simply untrue. The relief we are seeking is that the streams of our video interview not be posted on the internet again. And
Wow.
I was talking about the posts that were made that were simply untrue and encouraged hatred was not the fact that I did the streams, because the streams were taken down basically immediately.
Right, because
It was
of the copyright claim.
copyright struck me, and then people were making posts about the fact that she copyright struck it.
It's so crazy to me. I think she doesn't I don't think she claims to know all about law, but I don't think she's read any of the Constitution. People have civil liberties. People have the right to criticize and
no, they don't, because in Dr. John's 3.5 hour whatever, they cited stalking laws from the UK. Well, the UK is definitely not the United States. It definitely is not, because look at the Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing. They won over in the UK, lost in the United States.
To critique and to give commentary on things, and what you did was complete fair use. Her claims are completely bogus, and it's an abuse of the process, and it's the same pattern with what we have now. It's a pattern. It's an abuse of the process. Because
I did that with Gypsy Rose Blanchard. I blacked her out, and I refused to click on her and give her even a penny of my whatever. So it's really smart to do that. Just find your favorite content creator and just follow them, and don't give them any more money, because it's so disgusting to see their hidden minions just digging deep and giving them all this payday for this nonsense.
Doesn't like something or something someone might say, it doesn't give her this power to where she can wave a wand and the law is on her side. And then when it doesn't work out in her favor, because it won't, because these are laws, protections for a reason, she plays the victim, and it's not on.
Yes.
Yep.
Right. Wow. Because the way that was worded that you just read really makes it seem like you guys were cyberbullying, just tearing her apart in your live stream.
When I tell you, and I would be totally honest, because now I'll say whatever I want to criticize Lauren, because now I have reasons to criticize Lauren, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point.
90
That's actually a great point. And somebody else made that point about the amount of hours they've spent going over this on other people's channels, and a total of maybe 1 hour of TikToks compared to 13 hours of gaslighting, if not more, because they've gone from channel to channel behind paywalls. It's just, but they're the victims. Well, they victimize all these people, but we're supposed to be forgiving people because everyone makes mistakes and everyone talks ish about people. Dr. John, I think, doesn't know the full story. I don't think she's given him the full story, because Lauren looks extremely guilty during these lives. She looks really guilty to me, and he looks like he's coming unglued.
5, if not 98%. I remember calling them hidden germs. That's where that came from. But other than that, all of our criticism was to Jerry Holman. If we criticized her at all, it was that she was asking questions that A, either had already been asked over and over and over again over the course of 8 years, or B, she wasn't asking questions that were like, or follow-up questions that were to make him expand on the things that he was saying. And it was all just very surface level. But other than that, the entire criticism was about Jerry Holman. Just like now we're doing the depositions. The entire criticism is about Jerry Holman.
That's what makes it even more funny.
Now I kind of don't want to do the whole reading of this because I don't need her, you know.
Well, these aren't hers.
Right.
Like, these are not her documents. They
Yeah,
are
but
the
can't
court.
she? I know, but look, here is Christina saying some things, right? And because I would read those.
I'm having the nerve today to be mad that it was released to the public that they were doing that. Like, that was behind our paywall. Thanks, paywall subscribers. It was part of all the shaming that we got in that 3.5 hour clip or 3.5 hour edited whatever it was.
Declarations, and I would give commentary. I cover trials.
Yeah.
Now, do I fly my ass all over Hell's Half Acre to cover them? And no, I do not. I ain't trying to do all that business. I sit with my audience and we talk about what's going on in the moment live. Okay. That's what I do. I do other stuff too, but you guys know. Anywho, that's not the point. I don't need. I don't know. I have to think about it.
I don't. What
She can't.
people have already read? Like, I mean, Jay for Justice or whatever, and Melly. Everyone's.
I know.
kind of
So now
reading.
I'm sort of thinking like,
I
okay,
think the thing for me is like the Mean Girl stuff is just what I'm latching on to entertain myself so that I don't think about the stuff that's really burning my chaps about her using the legal system and causing real harm to victims. That really being an ex-social worker and helping many people that were truly stalked, it really burns my butt that she is mucking up the legal system, and she works in the legal system knowing about, I don't know, it's just like, I guess I just am using the mean girl stuff to put humor into it for me, because if I don't find humor in a situation, I'll burn myself up with it. Like, I get so mad at injustices, and I think that's why I cover true crime. That and I'm a Gen Xer, so that's how we deal with our stuff. Is we put drama and laughter into stuff, so we don't cry. Because I'd rather laugh than cry about stuff.
because it's already been read.
Gives me a migraine.
What would be the even point of me even talking about it? Anyway, to begin with, I'll think about
Yes,
it.
this
Really,
stuff that if I let it bother me too much, I would cry about, because this is societal stuff that makes me like want to become a hermit and not go out into society. People that will use this and like call like rape when it didn't happen, or call abuse when it didn't happen, or say I'm being stalked when it's not, when you really feel like you're being defamed. And defamation suits are really expensive, so you're going to go the stalker route, and that's mucking up. Sorry, somebody help me down off my soapbox. I know you guys are all up there with me. I don't need to be saying all this. I'm sorry. I could go on rants, but yes, the real issue really makes me mad.
what I need to be doing is finishing those videos, and I need to stop finding new and exciting rabbit holes to go down to keep me from doing what I'm supposed to be doing, aka procrastinating. So
I can relate.
Yeah.
This all just popped up. I wouldn't have even had anything to do with it had it not been for the fact that she spent the entire 9 hours.
What do you think about all of this? Have you been following it? Do you want to maybe do a live together about it? I'm going to be wrapping this one up in a little bit, but if you want to, or if any of you guys want to do a panel with me, just email me. My email is going across the bottom, or Amber, you have my text. You can text me because I would love to talk to other people about this. Right now, I'm going on other people's panels that have already happened, and, just to try to, and talking to you guys, because I just, like, I'm a dog with a bone, because this kind of stuff angers me. This injustice really angers me. And what she's doing just isn't fair. And I'm glad Christina has so much support.
Hours.
You can't ignore it.
Yeah, just telling her side, which annoyed me.
right.
And then on top of it, once I heard the court audio and I heard what the judge said, I was like, she literally in 9 whole hours did not mention that they had already had a hearing and that the judge had said that to her. So it became quite clear that somebody probably said to her, listen, girl, This is not going to go down the way that you think it's going to. You're going to have to testify. It's going to be in front of everybody. Like, I think if she thought that she had a legitimate case and was probably going to win, that she would not have cared if Law and Crime was there to film it.
I agree. I think if she knew that was the case, she'd want them there because it would favour her whole cause and gain more sympathy. Like what her live did. You clearly were too wise for that, but for me, it got me. She did a number on me. You know what I mean? That was an easy mark. It felt like, and I feel like a fool. But I guess it's a lesson in learning. Always look at both sides. You know what I mean?
I'm still waiting for that judge to do her ruling. So. But I am going to do a Sarah Boone today too. We're going to talk about Sarah Boone getting booted out of possible Bible study, and I'm going to share my text that I did with Lana. She was the one that Sarah was going to give her kidney to.
Even if someone is getting emotional about something, they might be lying. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I know
she might be upset about something else that she doesn't want exposed more than she's upset that this girl's making these TikToks. Which this was the first TikTok that got sent to me, and I was like, question mark, like in response, because I'm like, well, why do I care?
Little mic, seriously. How is somebody who's holding this dainty little mic
in a car?
In a car? What is she? I mean, I said it the other night on Allie's, and I'm going to say it again. These TikToks were not created for the general public. Christina has a TikTok with 50,000 subscribers, or what do you call them? Followers, 50,000 followers. If the TikToks were intended to expose Lauren to the public, she would have used that account. She could have just switched. She could have switched the accounts. And here's the other thing.
What I've been saying, she had 2 accounts, and she said she felt like she didn't think all of her art people would appreciate it or understand what she was talking about. So she created a separate account, and she separated business from personal. And it's not her trying to be sneaky or, be whatever, like Dr. John and Lauren Turd are trying to make us think. It's just not.
You can always take your content off of TikTok. So even though it was an art channel, or really about her work, she had a good following. And all she would have had to do was post one expose and then use that one expose to direct people to this other account. That's it. That's all. It's very simple. Everybody knows how to do it. I have a GED. I know how to do it. Okay. It ain't that deep.
Yeah.
I think that these TikToks were really for Lauren herself. I think what Christina's message was, the majority of them. Now, I will say I did not agree with the story about her brother being told. I think that went too far. I think it was extra petty. I think it was extra nasty, and it was foul, and she shouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done it.
Totally
I just
agree.
agree with
I
it.
agree.
But
I agree, but she can.
She can.
Oh,
It's not
exactly.
illegal.
It's not a crime.
That's it.
Right.
Correct. It's not illegal.
Not illegal. It's not being a good friend. When my friendships end, I don't know if it's my social work ethics or whatever, but I rarely talk about my ex-friends, and I hold sacred a friendship, and I'm not going to tell you my personal stuff, but I keep saying here with Christina, I think Christina was just so sick of seeing it happen time and time again, because we just read a statement from GiGi where she found out in the spring it was happening to her, right? So Lauren isn't the only one that okay, my friend, Lauren wasn't the only one, I'm sorry. Hey, Junie, stop. I hate when he screams like that. He knows it. Christina wasn't the only friend that Lauren was talking about. She was talking about GiGi, and more people I'm sure are going to come out. Christina's the only one that created a TikTok about it, right? So she became the stalker. What would have happened if GiGi had come out about all of this? Would GiGi be the stalker? Because, there's a whole group of women that really did all these statements against her. Why aren't they the stalker? Although they became the stalker, Giselle and a few other people, or not Giselle, I forget the other name in it, but a few of them are being known as stalker too. But in the very beginning, it was only Christina was the stalker. So.
So is it petty? Yes, it is. Is it, would I do it? Hell no. Could I legally do it? Hell yes, I could.
Right.
Okay. Just because you can don't mean you should, is my point.
Right.
And I think it's also important to note, like, if you guys have ever had like a really close friend and you have a falling out, like, it's like a breakup in a
It is.
relationship. You know,
It
it's like
is.
people are hurt. People are going to do things out of their emotions. And that's all I saw in these TikToks.
Right.
There's
And
a
think
hurt
about it.
ex-friend.
Exactly. And think about this. Before there was social media, friendships fell apart. And you know what they did? You know what girls do? They go to all the girls and be like, let me tell you what Jen said about you on February 8th, 1993.
Yeah. And that's
here's
what
the
we're
thing.
worried
I
about.
would tell those girls,
It's a mean girl group where they've been doing it to each other all along. Why wouldn't you think you would get taken into that? When you're doing it, why would you think, when you're doing it with people, when you're talking shit about people behind their back, why would you not think the moment that you get outed that they're not doing that exact same thing? Because that's the first thing I think. When somebody talks ish to me about another person, I think, oh, what might they be saying about me? I do think that.
you know what? On February 6th, 1993, I probably did call you a bitch. You know why? Because you were probably being a bitch.
Right.
I said it, show did. Do I mean
Well,
it
then
today?
it
No, but
comes
that's how
down
girls did it.
to
Her
with that-
inability, sorry.
No, you're good. I'm just saying, like, with that in mind, that all this talk with other people who were ex-friends and, you know, how, because Lauren kind of says that. And then she's getting a hold of other people who I had, for one, why do you have so many falling outs with people? For two, it are the things that are being said about you true? She said in her 9 hours, I'm being accused of cheating with some detective in the, I forgot what case.
I think all of that stuff that she knows is part of the things that are going to come. I think she was sending like subliminal messages to lay groundwork for if this stuff comes out.
Yeah.
Like the
Yes,
fake
could
text
be.
messages. She showed us how to make fake text messages. It's like, why are you?
I think this stuff isn't going to come out from Christina until Christina gets into court. I think Christina's saving this all close to her pocket now. And I think they're trying to get her to bait her to get her to release the stuff. And I think Christina has lawyered up, or at least I hope that's what's happened.
Are you telling us this? Like, A, it's
Right.
like you're going to make me either think, okay, so how do I know the text messages you're showing me aren't fake? Or B, oh, so if text messages come out, then they're probably fake.
Right.
You're saying that they know how to do
Convenient.
that. And so
This is
it was,
PR 101. This is no
Yes.
different than when you go when there are two suspects in the cop shop. Whoever talks first gets the deal. So nobody knew about this girl's TikTok. It was completely random and completely obscure. Okay.
Mhm.
And I don't give a rat's hat, Grayson. Stop playing. There's a reason why, if you're telling the truth, and I have no proof otherwise. But if we all know how the tickety talks, the YouTubes, all the things work, the algorithm. If this came up on your For You page,
I'd have no
there's a-
clue who she was talking about at all.
Right. But Grayson said how she found it was it came up on her For You page. There's a reason it came up on your For You page.
Right.
And I don't know. It's the algorithm, and it has something to do with what you were following previously.
And liking and commenting.
correct.
And
And
on
it has
that
to
note,
do with
where people are
It's
talking
also
about.
important to note that Lauren's name is never mentioned
right.
in these
And
TikToks.
I've never seen any hashtags, but let me just point this out as well. It also has to do with the way this person set their TikTok up. There are, if you, and the way that another person's TikTok is set up, because there are ways for TikTok to add your contacts, and they will do it automatically, whatever it has to do with a lot of different things, the permissions you give TikTok. We all know how it works. Stop playing with these people. Okay. But I have to go because I got the nuggie, and I can hear her in there. She's singing to the K-pop Demon Hunters.
Oh, God. No problem. I'm glad you joined us for a little bit.
But I want to talk
insight.
about this with you so bad,
will.
Amber. I don't know what to do. Maybe we'll have a live. I don't know. Maybe I'll have. I haven't been live in like a month.
There's a lot to touch on with all this. Like, I know we're not even going to scratch the surface of it, which I kind of figured, but we'll follow up. On
all right, maybe we'll do that. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. We'll do some follow up after, because we were on Allie's, and you're gonna do this. So maybe we'll just do like we'll see. All right.
Honestly, I think somebody should read through all this stuff without it being
No
alive.
commentary. You don't even need commentary.
Yeah, just read through it. Like,
do I have the voice? Who wants to hear this voice for 80?
I feel like somebody's already done that. I'm not sure. Welcome back to the internet, Julies. Here is a link I'm going to put in the comments, the chat. This is a link. It's like a 20-minute video that I did yesterday. It's my intro to this case for you guys. So it kind of tells you what's happened in the case and what's going on. if you want to listen to it. It's like a 20-minute video, and it's all in a personal opinion at this point because Lauren has decided to take it out of the courts and bring it to the YouTube streets. And so now everybody's weighing in on it. So it's all a matter of opinion, but I believe that Lauren is indeed the stalker and not actually the stalker, Christina, who she's labeled the stalker. And in her 9-hour live called her a stalker over 400 times, and has since continued to call her a stalker. And some of the other mean girl group that she was into, they've started calling them stalkers too. So, but you got to make up your own mind.
Billion documents. I don't know. I'll think about it.
Yeah, no,
NK's voice.
Oh yeah, do it in NK. Your NK is something else. Like,
Yeah.
Leave Jim alone.
Well, I said this in my last live. I'm quite angry about the whole face situation because I feel like Lauren does this stuff to her face. She makes her face freeze and her eyebrows look funny and weird, and we're supposed to not notice it. We're just supposed to not notice that she's got a frozen, weird looking face. And then if we do say something about it, then we're like pulling down a woman's look, you know, we're making her feel insecure or whatever. So she just does these crazy things to her face. Like if she tattooed her face up and put nose rings in it, we're not supposed to say anything about anything like that. Like it just drives me crazy in this day and age. We're not supposed to notice the way a person looks anymore. We're just supposed to be like, oh, okay, you know. It just, you know, it makes me angry that they're angry at me for saying, you know, like I'm angry at them for being angry at this point. I'm angry at her for presenting her face to me like that and then getting angry when I have the nerve to notice that her eyebrows are in this perpetual evil eyebrow look. I mean, her eyebrows look like Robin Brown from Sister Wives eyebrows. You just can't like look away from the eyebrows. And then, you know, then there's all the other stuff, the fillers in her cheeks and stuff.
you don't go into the baby voice she does in the police interview.
I don't know how to do it. Can you help me?
It's so performative.
Thank you for subscribing, and I'm so sorry if that happened to you. Life is good. I'm really, really sorry that happened.
I hate her. I should have dogs in the background reacting. All right, I'm gonna go. You guys.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for stopping by, Jen Lou.
We'll talk soon.
You're welcome.
So, again, these TikToks. Which one do you think is the worst one? Like which one? Because this right here. Let me just play this. This has nothing to do with stalking.
Suspicions for months, but it took me way too long to realize that almost everything this ex-friend told me was a lie. She had friends who ended their friendship with her 2 months into the start of my friendship with her. Afterwards, she would casually say things like, man, if my text messages between them were ever released, that would be bad. But you know how we all view things through our own lens? I brushed it off. I'd laugh and say, oh girl, I'm sure you have nothing to worry about. Because honestly, if my text ever got released, they'd just expose how terrible I am at even reading or replying to texts. But here's the thing. What was she actually worried about? That involved other people. And until they're ready to share their side, I'm going to leave that part alone for now. Just know it was really bad. It was freaking bad.
Well, we know that we heard from GiGi from Pretty Lies and Alibis that it was pretty bad for her too. It was bad enough that she removed herself from Lauren's orbit. And it had nothing to do with anything Christina said or did. It was everything that Lauren said and did.
That was my final straw. The red flags had been stacking up for months, but this confirmed everything. I knew I didn't want that energy or that type of friend in my life. So I decided next time I saw her in person, I'd confront her. And when that moment finally came, what happened next? I've really never experienced anything like it. I had suspicions for months, but it took me way too long to realize that almost everything this ex-friend told me was a lie.
All right. So
she had friends who ended their friendship with her.
This is just one of the TikToks, and I can understand why people are like, but all the videos about her, it's unhinged. It's not something I would do. But again, is this considered stalking with her name?
I would do, but I also have to throw in that Christina is of a different generation than a lot of us, and they were born and raised on video. That's what they do. They videotape each other. They use it as their diary. It's what they do. It's what we're doing. Welcome to 2025, my friends. It is here. And Lauren Mathias, for good or bad, is a public figure. And somebody made a tiny TikTok about her, and she couldn't handle it. And she put it into this kind of situation. It's insane. But at this point, I think that you reap what you sow, and you're doubling down. I'm sure you're going to be tripling down. Somebody said that in chat. I 100% agree. It's coming, and it's going to be the War of the Roses. And I'm hitching my wagon to Christina, because Christina isn't in the right for everything. Like, I would not be doing these. I would not be making a TikTok about somebody. But I keep saying, I get it. I get it when you're just so fed up with somebody getting away with lie after lie after lie, and they're lying. But if you stand behind them and like, nah, that's a lie. Nah, that's a lie. Then you get labeled kind of like what Christina's getting labeled, right? You're a stalker. Leave her alone. Leave her be. But she's lying. She's lying to everybody, and you're believing it. It can be maddening. But anyway, I'm pulling into my own personal experiences here.
It's not involved. I mean, nobody even knows who this girl's talking about.
Exactly. It's not stalking, and she can't even. There's nothing that can be actionable, because she's absolutely not given anything away that can indicate who she's even talking about, unless you know them. You know what I mean? Unless you know both of them. So yeah, it's just her giving her opinions. You know what I mean? And it doesn't fall under like directed harassment or anything, because it's not directed at anyone. It's nameless.
So apparently they are going live. They haven't spoke since they dropped this a week ago. They're going live in 25 minutes. Of course, we can't stream them because she will strike us.
Oh, but she did go live after she did her 9-hour live. She just went live to her Patreons.
Oh, right. Live on Patreon.
And laughed about the whole situation. Waved to her stalker.
About it.
Yes. Yeah. And did you guys, I wasn't aware of this because I don't have Patreon, but you can see your members to the point where you can block them. I can't.
It's interesting if she starts striking people. God.
Block.
And that's exactly what I'd be doing.
From watching. Exactly.
Yes.
They don't have her blocked on their Patreon. They know that she's still on there, able to watch.
And they keep paying her membership dues or whatever they are.
Turtle Boy was cracking me up yesterday. I put this over in my community section because the eyebrows, he just cracking me up on the eyebrows. I had to take a screenshot of it. It's just brilliant. And I also said too, you've got Turtle Boy on your ass now. He's not somebody I'd want on my butt. No. So good luck.
Whatever they pay for your members, whatever they're called. And I'm here to tell you, this constant going around, and when I got my protective order, just the temporary one, I couldn't even go to the grocery store. I was so afraid that I was going to run into him. Mm-hmm. Or somebody in his family or anybody that he knew. I was absolutely paranoid. In fact, to the point where one time I was at a gas station and I saw a car, as I was paying, I saw a vehicle outside the door to the gas station, and I swore it was his parents. I literally called the lawyer and was like, I need to get out. I need to get an order for them too. I just saw them at the gas station. They're following me. It made me absolutely paranoid and terrified to even leave my house. And the time I did, I thought that I was being followed. And I did drop it once.
That is real fear.
They pulled the gas station camera and everything, and they were like, it's not them. And I was like, oh my God, then drop it. But I really thought that it was. But I dropped it as soon as I realized it wasn't. You know what I mean? And so to go places and then be filming that, it's just so.
With Grayson, it's kind of snowballed in her mind. Lauren has worked this up in Grayson's head. And so that I think Grayson really does believe she's being stalked. I believe Grayson really thinks she's being stalked, but I think Lauren knows she's not being stalked. What do you guys think? That just kind of popped in my head.
Bizarre to me. I wouldn't go anywhere where I even thought that he might think he might want to go. You know what I mean?
Yep, exactly. So I feel since they're going to be going live and we haven't really even gone through this spreadsheet, I think what I want to do is just have ChatGPT read out loud Christina's, aka the alleged stalker, which, by the way, how dare she go 9 hours calling her the stalker, and on other huge, humongous platforms calling her a stalker when she decided to withdraw this legally?
Yep.
She's not you know?
She didn't give the woman a chance to defend us.
She was wearing the balls that day when she did the 9-hour live. Her and Dr. John share a set of balls, and she was wearing them for 9 hours that day. She was feeling strong. Where Dr. John was, we don't know. He was maybe crying in the corner, because Dr. John even started crying during his 3.5-hour live. So Dr. John isn't doing well, and I don't believe that our Lauren Turd has given Dr. John the full info.
In a court, so now she's airing it in the battle of public opinion, which I think
the only sucky thing about it is I really think Christina's lawyered up. So I think after like a while, we're gonna start running out of stuff, and we're gonna be like, "What's going on?" We're gonna be sitting in this holding pattern, and that I don't look forward to that. But right now, we got a lot of stuff we can consume. So I always worry. Does anyone else do that when you get you're eating this totally fabulous meal? You're like, this is so good. I just don't want it to end. Like, I'm a dog with a bone. Like, finally, some justice. I see it on the horizon.
I easily thought with her, pulling on the heartstrings that she just win and anything against her would just be dismissed. And that hasn't happened. I think people now are more objective than they have been in the past 5-10 years.
And I'll say the turtle boy, he said something, and I was like, you know what? Having my experience with her with the copyright strikes and stuff, someone said something about, because when people started like reviewing her live, I thought, oh dear God, like there's going to be strikes everywhere. Like she didn't strike a single person, and I thought that's really weird. And then when he started reviewing it, he made a comment. Somebody said something like, she's now going to come after you for harassment. This is going to be, because you're criticizing her and stuff. And he was like, she's not going to come after me. I have too big of a platform. She goes after these small people that like won't defend themselves, can't defend themselves, don't have the following to defend themselves, don't have the reach for people to hear their side of the story. She's not going to do anything to me. And I thought, you know what? That's exactly what she did. Like I told you, I don't know if it's 12 or if it's probably 12,000 people. And maybe 500 people were like in my live to see those videos. Like the people that were going to watch her interview with him are going to watch it on her channel.
Exactly.
The people that are never going to watch her channel are the ones that were watching.
I would definitely be worried if I were Dr. John and Lauren that my empire was crumbling, that I was going to lose my home, that my marriage was going to crumble. I'd be really worried if I were them. I mean, you know what other situation this sort of reminds me of? The Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. Like, I bet at this point in time, Blake Lively wishes she hadn't taken it to where she's taken it. Like, I bet she wishes she could back this bus up. And I wonder if Lauren and Dr. John are at that point where they wish they could back this bus up. Probably not. Like somebody said, they're too fragile. Their egos wouldn't let them. But if I were at this point, I'd be like, man, I want to back this bus up. Like, I want this bus backed up now.
It on mine. That's it. Like, I didn't take any viewers from her.
Right.
All
And
of
YouTube is so large. YouTube is so large. Like,
hello,
they don't even share. Like me and
hello, Dragonfly. The Dragonfly is the membership program here on YouTube. It's our membership program. So, hi, little Dragonfly.
Teresa, like, I don't even think like we might share like maybe 30 of the same subs or maybe a couple hundred, like, because we do have like thousands following us, but like it's so large that like we can cover true crime, her and I, and like I see totally different crew in her chat, and it's totally fine. We're both getting support from like the whole.
Good morning to everybody coming in. I want to say hello and good morning. Make sure to hit that like button. And we are talking about none other than this hidden true crime mess. And I can't seem to stop thinking and talking about it. I feel like for me, I keep comparing it to the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. I kind of feel like that when that trial was going on. I was like excited to get up in the morning to see what was going to happen. Which, I mean, sounds horrible, but I mean, I feel like the only reason I feel bad about it is because Dr. John brought this shame upon me that, I shouldn't be feeling shameful, which makes me want to do it even more. Like when someone tells me I shouldn't do something, it always makes me want to do it more. So
we're all, in our own little corners. Like, it's not that serious. And for her to have as many subs as she does and worried about, it's because she's threatened by you, Sleuthy.
I
Well,
agree.
she
You're an
didn't. She didn't.
intelligent, beautiful woman who is very, detail oriented, which you need to be in this field. Well, I know that you don't consider yourself, or do you consider yourself true crime creator?
No, not really.
Yeah,
But the thing is like,
it's the
she
worst.
does.
Brad Pitt was the worst analogy for me. I feel like they're more of a Amber Turd, Johnny Depp. But now that I'm thinking about it, it could even be Blake Lively and Justin. So I mean, it's certainly not Brad Pitt and Angelina. And if it is, they were making her be the Brad Pitt situation. In the Brad Pitt situation, Brad Pitt is the abuser. So make that make sense. Don't hide this chat from me. I'm not hiding it. Yes, Lauren is calling all the managers. They are talking about me. That's harassment and bullying. Here's the other part of this that I'm speculating on. This is obviously my opinion, but I was a member of their channel up until this happened. There was already, you must be typing some more. It's shameful to abuse the courts and call someone a stalker. Completely shameful. I'm just disgusted by her. Just so disgusted. 55 in the house, everyone. Oh, thank you, Barbara. Thank you. Thank you for keeping on top of that for me. I actually need some moderators. If anyone's interested, let me know. Red flags that I had seen, but this did it for me. I don't follow anyone blindly, which you shouldn't. I actually listen to what they're saying, and you absolutely should. And some people just expect blind adoration, and it seems like this hidden true crime is one of them. They just want blind adoration, and if you don't do that, then you must be some kind of criminal element to not see that this is stalking.
And like, you're, even though you don't even consider yourself like in the same, like whatever, she's threatened by you is what this
Because we're talking about the same stuff, I guess.
Yes. And you have such good research, and she probably has to try a little harder or get people to help her, which clearly it's.
Well, and that's always been the thing. Like, I'm the helper. Like, I'm not, like, if you're not an asshole to me, like, I put the stuff out there so that people can use, so like bigger creators go ahead and use it as a resource. Like, I'm not trying to be in competition with anybody.
Right.
I just don't want to click on a channel and start watching something and it be full of misinformation or even disinformation if the actual information is available.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I'm just going to.
One of my followers found a channel where they had taken the audio of somebody's work and just taken the whole audio, all of it, and then put a voice dubber over it, and then just took clips and put it out like that. Now that's copyright. That's wrong. That's not adding anything new to it. That's wrong. But when you use it for a fair play use, where you're adding your commentary and adding your graphics and talking over it and talking with it and bringing more stuff to the conversation, to me, it's a compliment that someone would want to take your content and do that. But that's how I see it.
Like the information, the actual information from court filings and stuff, and encourage you to like tell the truth. So it was just bizarre to, it's just so, the whole thing is so bizarre to me. And it was very obvious what was going on. And I think part of what you said was true about not giving her the opportunity to say her part. I think that was also part of the decision not to go through with the hearing. Because then at that point, the only story that everyone's getting is Lauren's. And let's really think about it.
They do some pretty questionable stuff in their Patreon. It sounds like they don't think like people are recording them. Even behind paywalls, people record you. And it sounds like Dr. John's more comfortable behind a paywall, but that stuff's going to get out. Here, we're being told that these people were getting real threats while she was in Delphi, and they were reading them as entertainment to their Patreons and laughing, kind of like what they were doing about their stalker, right? Like laughing. Our stalker's probably here. Ho ho, for sure they're here. He, ho ho ho.
Even if this girl decided to go live on her TikTok and start talking about her side of the story, how many people are really going to see it?
Exactly. And then she's got all of her followers who have like immense sympathy for her already.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's tugged on their heartstrings.
Oh.
I'm not even a regular viewer of hers. Like I knew of her based on Amber and other creators playing clips
A while ago
from her show. And stuff and reacting to him and stuff, and other things like that. And I knew her mainly around the Karen Reid trial and her coverage of that. But like, yeah, like she's got all them fans, all them subs who are going to go, if they do see this, they'll go and attack the woman. You know what I mean? And there'll be a lot more of that.
Which is ironic.
And they have.
He said,
I didn't realize that was you, Kim. I'm sorry.
Literally near the end of her 9-hour stream, and I don't believe in cancel culture, so don't go and spread hate over the it's like, now you're gonna throw that disclaimer in here,
really? Like, you've called her stalker,
right?
Over 400.
After over 400 times, now you're gonna throw that little disclaimer in. Okay, you're trying to read the room a little too late, my friend, and you're still not reading it.
Times this entire time. And something else that I want to say, and you might not have watched them yet, like the videos of them at like the restaurant, I guess in Boise was what it was. Watching that on my own without Lauren butting in and doing whatever she wanted to do, like watching it just on my own. It's 2 parts, and it really seemed really like manipulative. Like, Lauren seemed fine. She seemed fine. In fact, she probably seemed a little angry. Okay. Yeah. And she's filming this and trying to be sneaky about it. And then come to find out, like in other declarations, like on Lauren's side, Grayson didn't even know that Lauren was recording her at that time. So when they were sitting at the table, and in the second part, Grayson's like all beside herself, and I was just trying to eat, and they're following me or whatever. Like, she didn't know that Lauren was filming her. And looking at the text messages between Grayson and Lauren, just the way she responds to Grayson, it all rubbed me very wrong.
I agree.
Like, how's that making you feel? Write it down in your journal or something. It just was all very strange to me.
It's exactly how I thought it was with
very culty. They're very culty, and it's very strange. And I think they've got Grayson so brainwashed and scared. Can you imagine living in that fear like that? Because I think Grayson really thinks she's being stalked, but she's not. You know, she's at this hotel stalking Christina in all actuality. But I think Christina's young and impressionable. I don't know. I just give Grayson more grace than I give Lauren.
It confirmed she was exactly how I thought she was going to have been with Grayson. Like, making it a problem when it isn't a problem, because she wants it to be a problem because it helps her case. And I've got this 24-year-old young girl. She's all distraught over this stalking, when really Grayson probably
went to CrimeCon. Now, we just heard in that description, it basically sounds to me like she went to CrimeCon to build her case. She went to CrimeCon. Christina, found out that she wasn't going to CrimeCon, so she bought her tickets. She might have known that there was some injunction coming, but it hadn't been served yet. She wasn't supposed to be at CrimeCon, and then at the last minute, Lauren Turd decides, I'm going to go to CrimeCon just to go to these Clue Awards, because she did whatever she did at Delphi, which I disagree wholeheartedly with her coverage of Delphi. I mean, but again, I do the to each their own. We won't get into that. But she gets Grayson to do all of this, and she goes. Christina thinks she's not coming, so I'm told like it's 180-ish or 1,800, which I'm sure it's not quite that much, but I don't know. It seems like it's a lot to go to these conventions. I know that. So Christina spends all this money, and of course she wants to go and stay and be there and be a part of it because it's what she likes to do. It's not only her bread and butter, but for a lot of us, it's like we have finally found a job that we love doing. And so now here's Lauren preventing that, and she went to CrimeCon, in my opinion, to build her case against Christina. She was probably hoping Christina was going to act crazier than she actually did. Christina was really smart and really polite with the police, and just really held herself well. And I bet you that Lauren was betting that Christina would be unhinged because she considered her twitchy and weird, right? She betted that under stress that Christina was going to unravel and maybe do a little bit more. But Christina actually showed some pretty good colors and has held her her ground in all of this. You know, I feel bad for Christina. The stress she must be going under. Although I will say this, I wouldn't have never done the TikToks, and I think the TikToks is what got us here. But I will say too that I understand it, because I have a Lauren in my life, or I have had Laurens in my life, and it's maddening. So.
Would have this is a bit unpleasant, but forgotten about it within half an hour.
Yes.
Max, you know, and not giving it a second's thought, but because Lauren's like, oh, write it down in your journal. Do you need to talk about this with me? Do you need any help? Do you need me to, you know, it's implanting.
She's being schooled in Mean Girl Behavior 101. She's learning from the master, the OG, the GOAT, Lauren Turd.
This idea that she's, you know, really, you know, she's really been through it. You know what I mean? When it isn't anything.
And I think that a lot of her anxiety is caused by Lauren.
Absolutely.
I think that,
Absolutely.
So come to find out, and like, I want to say it was Christina's declaration. There's parts that say like that.
Not even high school behavior. It's middle girl behavior. It's messy, and Lauren included the police. Lauren's that messy girl that will call the police on you. She'll talk ish about you and be the meanest, baddest person, but the moment you retaliate in any way towards her, then you know she's that girl that'll call the police on you.
And when they knew each other, was already struggling with like anxiety and stuff like that, and so I think that was used by Lauren to like perpetuate her anxiety and like make it worse. And then on top of it, she makes Grayson do stuff that she like doesn't want to do. She makes Grayson call the police for her. Yep. She makes Grayson follow these people around and take pictures of them and stuff. And
she treats Grayson like she's her assistant and not her producer. You know what I mean? Like Grayson like does everything. I wouldn't be surprised if Grayson isn't even the babysitter and stuff like that. The cook, the shopper. You know, I bet Grayson does a lot in that house.
One declaration where, and I think you said this, Amber, or somebody, I've listened to like a ton of streams today, people I've never even seen before. And there's a comment there about like an ex-police officer or something at CrimeCon that literally went up to one of these people and was like, somebody's following you. And it turned out to be Grayson.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, okay, so you have this girl here with you. She does whatever you tell her to.
Yeah.
And she's going to, because you're her source of income, right? Her only source of income. I have also just found out that, and I guess I didn't really realize it, that Grayson's like basically living with her, whether they're in like hotels or whatever. It's so manipulative. And
I'd heard she was living with her, and yeah, I do wonder what Nate feels about this, because we heard a little bit from GiGi. I wonder if Nate's going to give a statement, because Nate did give away Lori's book to her, and then Lauren gave out Lori's book, which is so disgusting. I mean, can you imagine having your book published finally? Like Lori said, this was, you know, she moved to Arizona or wherever it is she moved to. She wrote her book. She finally got it out. And then to have this woman give it away to people. And her, you know, her having such a huge outreach, and you really can't do anything about it. But yeah, karma. Ding dong. Karma lady.
Seems kind of culty to me, like you know, coercive control. Like Grayson, I think she's young. You know what I mean? Like people think 24 is a lot older than it really is, but like she's still young. You know what I mean? So she's still like maturing, and like what you said, she already had the anxiety. So this is really like predatory to me,
and she seems very isolated. Like she has isolated her.
And you know what's crazy?
I think about when I was 24 and I was just working in the social work field, and I had just graduated from college, and I was out in the Jeffries projects in Detroit doing my social work stuff, and I quiver for that 24-year-old. I shake and I think, oh my gosh, and I just want to hug her and tell her not to do it, but she did it. I did it, and I survived it, but wow.
This is something I said to Shay, which I don't know if you guys remember, like my coverage of this or if you guys followed this, but the Jody Hildebrand and Ruby Frankie dynamic in that case.
Yes.
This is what it's reminding me of. And Lori Vallow and her little minions, Zulema and Melanie Gibb. Like, it's crazy because Lauren has covered those cases and they're both like Midwest. There's LDS ties to both of it's just crazy. Something that I noticed, like just from like we've all said about Grayson, young, impressionable. Some of those videos, there was
LDS as well. Does anyone know that?
Lemon drops, alcohol drinks all over the table, and she's recording her, and it's like Grayson is making these statements like under the influence also.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And she's like in that Boise one, she's like zooming in across the street, and then she's like, we're afraid to even leave. Just, like exactly how I'm saying it, like we're afraid to even leave. Like it's no big deal. Like, ma'am.
I think Nate is the OG good guy. I just like Nate would be another person that I would be devastated if I found out he was a jerk behind the scenes. I think that Lauren tricked Nate, and I know that Nate has probably spoken to Lori and apologized profusely. I mean, Nate's the guy that goes around his community and gives stuff away at Christmas time. I mean, I enjoy watching him as a Secret Santa and stuff. And I really enjoyed his Lori Vallow coverage. And Nate was actually the person I went to for the Lori Vallow. I trust him. I trust his family. I enjoy watching his little girl, Emmy, interview people. I watched her interview the Fonz and a few other people. And I mean, and I think like a lot of people thought Lauren was like one of those people, like one of those OG good girls, you know, just like salt of the earth, kind of cool, you know, kind of quirky or whatever she tries to pretend. Like I didn't like her. She wasn't my cup of tea. But you know, like people are waking up to this, and it's disappointing. It's disappointing when people that you like, that you think they're good people, and you find out they're not such good people. And it's not about a mob mentality. It's just like she has shown over and over and over again that she's a mean girl. This is not stalking. I don't know. I just feel like we need to keep like chanting it one with each other. This is not stalking. This is mean girl. And Dr. John really needs to save himself, because if he doesn't, he's going down with the ship.
You understand? Like if I would have seen my ex-husband across the,
even at least save their son, you know, save somebody.
He was down the street. If I saw someone that looked like him, I would be like grabbing someone's jacket and running as fast as I could out of there so that like he didn't see me. Like there is no way I'd be sitting there like, now I'm afraid to leave. No, I'm afraid to stay. I'm afraid to be here.
Yes.
It's horrible.
So just before they go, apparently they're not going live. It's just a premiere. So this is how it's been pre-recorded and edited.
Exactly.
Yes. More scripts.
I hope she has my spreadsheet. I hope she pulls it up. I'll strike her. Could I strike her?
They're not supposed to. I don't even think they're supposed to drink caffeine. So, good question.
She does.
Right?
Sure did have a lot of drinks on that table.
If she puts my spreadsheet on the screen, I would lose my channel.
I would love it if you, if it did get to that and you just copy and pasted everything.
Are they LDS or ex-LDS? I don't even know that either, I guess.
She did in her copyright.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
She was insulting to you, and it caused you immense anxiety, and you had like emotional damages, and
I felt threatened. I thought she was going to try to take over my Google Drive. I was getting random requests for security pins.
Like she also stated, I don't know if you guys caught this part, and Melly, let me know if you heard it. She said something about in the 9-hour stream that she wakes up and
what Nate did was award winning. Nate's coverage. But I mean, I guess I don't want to put you guys down if you liked her coverage, because I know I get a lot of people were saying that they liked her coverage. But for me, it wasn't award winning. It was like Chat GPT kind of like coverage. But with Nate's, I mean, following Lori, where's your kids, Lori, in Hawaii, and then getting the interviews. And I used to love his lives that he would do before, or I mean, not before court, but after court. His coverage was good. It was good stuff.
The first thing she does is, besides check her phone, is check her cameras. Had Christina ever even been to her state?
Probably not.
No.
I think she.
And you know what else?
I want to say that I think Christina went to their house, and I heard Lauren say that they went to a pool, but I think she was invited. Like she was in the state, in the area, and she was invited. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I've listened to a lot of this over the last few days.
I noticed since you said that, a lot of the complaints from the very beginning. So if you go to like the Henderson police report from like June, from the very beginning, it was other people, not Christina. So it's like, Jennifer, Julie, and Stacy, and I'm thinking that they are the ones that are releasing my text messages. And then that kind of gets brushed off. Then she talks about extortion, and then the cop's like, there's no evidence of extortion. Then it's, maybe it's Christina. And now it's all about Christina. But a lot of the things she's complaining about, a lot of the exhibits and stuff, are other people, not Christina. And she doesn't have orders against those people.
It's crazy. It's absolutely, sorry.
No, I was just wondering if it had anything to do with what we were kind of saying, like Utah's statute.
It's actually lucky for us that she can't seal this all up. It's lucky for us that we are getting bits and pieces. And I guess it's lucky for us that she's such a mean girl that she did talk behind so many people's backs. Because I guarantee you, sooner or later, someone's going to start talking, or Christina's finally going to have her day in court, and it's going to come out, and Long Quine is going to be in the courtroom. I promise you. And I can't wait for it. Or actually, I hope. I can't promise, but man, I hope. Let's all hope. Let's hope that Christina gets her day in court.
The definition of stalking, whereas like she thought, like instead of going after these other people whose state might not have fallen into this like more broad category, even though the judge still was like, no, like it's free speech, or just because someone doesn't like what you're doing and they state it on their social media, it doesn't constitute, stalking. But I don't know. It was just something that we were kind of wondering if it had anything to do with Christina being in Utah and their like huge, broad, like definition of what they consider stalking.
Oh, and also I'll say this. Her and Grayson are basically together all the time. The text messages to me look like, I guess scripted is the word that I'm going to use.
Makes sense.
Make sure you say this. Make sure you say this. And a lot of the times, like Lauren doesn't even respond. And like I said, when she does,
that a lot of stuff is scripted just by watching Lauren in these lives, because we see her writing stuff down and watching the cuts. Then it'll go to a cut, and then all of a sudden, Dr. John is saying something completely different, or like slightly different than what he was saying. Just Lauren's driving this bus, and Grayson and Dr. John and their son need to jump off this bus because it's going to crash. I mean, people are going to start digging into every crevice of this woman's life. And she was offended that they were looking at LinkedIn. Woo! She's got Turtle Boy on the case now. She's got Lana from Truth and Transparency on the case. She's got relentless people that, she's got relentless people.
She gets like at one point it was like 2 a.m. and Grayson's like, I'm panicking or whatever.
Too, she's got us that want to hold her accountable. So if there's any valid information that comes out, we fully plan on sharing it. If there were valid information that came out against Christina, we will share it. If there's valid information that comes out against Lauren, Dr. John, Grayson, whoever, we're sharing it because she brought it to us in this 9-hour live. And I will not be shamed into providing this information and talking about it because they brought it to me. I didn't knock on their door and say, knock, knock, do you got anything good for me to talk about? No, I woke up to a 9-hour live. So congratulations.
I'm thinking, okay, so I guess you're not together. And she's like, I'm panicking. Well, then there's no break in time. So you know how if somebody texts you at 2 a.m. and then you don't wake up till 9 a.m. and then you text them back at 9 a.m. It's been a certain number of hours. So it's going to say today at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
There wasn't that. It was just, I'm just seeing this. And it's like, okay, well, so there's no new timestamp. So how much time passed? And if you guys are both scared, you would think you would give your friend the courtesy, care, compassion to be available to them, especially when they're so wound up because of you.
Exactly. It's so bizarre. None of her actions completely contradict every single one of her claims in there. The fact that, you know, the definition sure is broad, but I think the whole process of what she was doing was just throwing as much mud at the wall and seeing if it sticks, and none of it has. None of it has, you know. And she's, you know, she's caused her own downfall, you know, and she's pissed, you know, because it's because of her. She knows deep down she can't blame anyone else because these are her words. You know what I mean?
It's going to keep going. Like whatever she has to say tonight, people are going to tear apart again.
100%.
Unless she comes out and says, like, I'm sorry, I tried to emotionally manipulate. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So before that happens, let me play. This is pretty much going to be a read through of Christina's declaration, because I think it's important at this point to really get her side of things out there, Christina's side, because of the mass numbers that Lauren has used to her advantage. And again, it goes back to that old saying, like, he who controls the media controls the narrative. You know, if you're the first one and if you have the numbers behind you and you're going on channels that have the numbers, like it just is, it's awful. Like when it comes down to like the fact that there's just the evidence on the evidence list was a joke.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So again, you guys, it's just going to be a read through of ChatGPT. So I'm going to play it. Hold on.
Excellent. I'll begin now. Below is part
I love it.
Full redacted word for word transcription. Everything identifying has been replaced with redacted, but formatting, paragraph numbers, and legal structure are preserved exactly. I, redacted, do hereby state and declare as follows. 1. I am over the age of 18 and am competent to testify in this matter. 2. I have personal knowledge.
Actually, I'm going to stop it here, and we're not going to go into that. I have to go get ready for my other live that I'm going to do, but I will put the link down there for you guys if you want to go over and check it out. I'm not really wanting to. I've heard all of them, all of the declarations, and when more come out, we can go through them. If you guys get any good information on anything else that's coming down on this case, if you want to, you can message me here. You can come over into my community chat and put something in one of my posts, my latest posts, or I'm over on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm over on X. I'm over on TikTok. You can email me. My email is scrolling down on the banner. It's Parawomen Radio. Just make sure that the women is plural. I do have it email for the MAN, but I always forget to check it. So yeah, and be sure to give me a thumbs up. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for being here. Please consider subscribing if you like my content. Of course, I will be back with this, and I'm going to be back later with Sarah Boone. It's the suitcase killer. She zipped her boyfriend up into a suitcase and went and passed out. She was offered 15 years, declined it, and earned herself life without parole. So she's one of my favorite numbskulls to talk about because like it didn't have to go down like that. And she is a narcissist. And I always wondered, like, when, because I believe she's an alcoholic. She denies it, but I believe it wholeheartedly. And I always wondered, like, when she dried up, like sometimes, because I worked in substance abuse. I did a lot of, I was an intake worker in a lot of situations at a substance abuse facility, and I was the women's case manager. Case manager, intake work was the two things that I did the most in my work. But I noticed in a lot of situations when people who have substance abuse issues, once they stop taking, if they were a good person before they started, they become a good person again, right? So I was very curious, like, what's going to happen to Sarah Boone? Well, spoiler alert. She got kicked out of Bible study, so we're going to be talking about that. So, okay, guys, I'm going to go. Thank you so much for being here. Let me come over into chat and say hi and bye to you guys really quick. Oh, yes, Sarah Looney. Yes, I like to call her my Boone Goon. I like to give people names. Lauren's my Laura. Lauren Turd now. Forevermore, Lauren Turd for me. This was my first live. I'm glad you turned up in my, oh, I am too. Yay. Yay. I have noticed that there are new people coming in with this coverage. So I'm happy to see you. And thank you for being here. And thank you to my OGs for being here. And yeah, I'm going to head out, do some tweeting with the baby bird. I got a little baby bird here. He's a green cheek. He's my baby. And we're going to do some of that. I'm going to get my Sarah Boone stuff together. And if nobody's told you guys this today, and even if they have, because I'm so grateful for all of you, I love you guys so, so much. And I'm going to see you guys real soon. Okay? Bye, guys.
And if you're not subscribed, why are you not subscribed? I would really, really, really love to have you as a power subscriber. If you really like my content, be sure to become a Dragonfly, and that's our membership, and it's $2.99 a month. I release all my videos early. We have special emojis over in the chat room. I kind of share things ahead of time with my Dragonflies, and I go live sometimes just for the Dragonflies. It's a way that I can support you guys and give you more content, and it's a way for you to support our channel. It's $2.99 a month, and I would love to have you.
Miss my cue, but I had you for that day. Here in the blue, I'm falling deep into you.
Be sure to give this live a thumbs up. Helps me go out into the algorithm party out there. Bring more people back to the party. It's just a free way to help me out.
Tonight, and it feels fine, feels fine. Baby, I'm dancing with you tonight. Here in the blue, I'm dancing and falling out, hoping for some time with you.